Good afternoon. It's hard to believe that we've reached the end of the last session, 2015 annual meeting. You know, when I arrive at the annual meeting, I'm looking forward to almost a whole week of inspiration, being with friends. Feels like a long time. I'm always amazed at how quickly the time goes. It's been an exciting meeting with a new format. This new schedule has allowed many of you PGA volunteers to attend more focus sessions than you could in the past. And that's really good because the content and the speakers were just outstanding. You know, what can I say about MDRT Speaks? I couldn't take notes fast enough. I mean, who knew there were so many great ideas just waiting to be discovered? Without a doubt, I had the most fun in the Connection Zone. I tried on those Google glasses, the reality headset, and all those other great gadgets. Well, this year's annual meeting, Program Development Committee viewed planning this meeting as creating a special gift for our members. And what a gift they've given us. Wouldn't you agree? This may be the last day, but we have a program that's just as powerful as day one. Today's about challenges, challenging ourselves to be better advisors, better humans, and to make the world a better place. Our first speaker, Delatoro McNeil, has been helping people from all walks of life transform their lives for over 15 years. He's ranked as one of the top motivational speakers in the world, and he's going to challenge us to change our thinking. Please give a warm welcome to Delatoro McNeil.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I believe that life gives us one open invitation every day, and it comes in the form of a question. Will you be better today than you were yesterday? MDRT, will you make the daily decision to better your best? You see, I believe it's easy for us to better our best because our best is really based upon our past. If I was to ask you, what's the best restaurant you've ever been to? What's the best vacation you've ever taken? What's the best month in sales you've ever had? Your brain would immediately reference one place, and that's your past. But your past is in the tomb of time. It's gone, it's buried. It's never coming back. Tomorrow, the future is in the womb of time. It is yet to be given birth to. And today, the present is in the bloom of time. We're currently experiencing it. So we must use today to impact our tomorrow. Do you agree with that? Say yes. Yes, absolutely. See, I'm curious, I wonder in this room, how many of you want to do more, be more, achieve more, give more, love more, and serve more? By a show of hands, how many of us in this room want more? I believe we all want more, right? Well, the thing is, if we want more, then we must realize something powerful. If we want more, we must be willing to change the way we think, because I believe this. You and I are a direct result of our best level of thinking. You see, none of us wake up every single day and make the conscious decision to think at 10%, 20%, 60%, 80% that day. No, every single day we get up and do the best we can with what we know, with what we have. But if you want more, watch this, then that means that your current level of thinking cannot produce a result that you seek, or you would already have it, which means we must be willing to go to that next level. Now, Albert Einstein will back me up on this philosophy because he says something powerful that I love and I live by. He says this, he says the current challenges you and I face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking in which they were created. In other words, we can't solve today's problem with yesterday's thinking. We can't even solve today's problem with today's thinking. The only way we solve a today problem is by going to tomorrow's level of thinking. You know, I believe that top organizations all around the world believe this philosophy because we all understand something powerful, that the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. That's a good takeaway. You might want to write that down. The biggest room in the world is room for improvement. I believe that top athletes all around the world understand this philosophy because when we watch the Olympics, we see all these amazing athletes get gold medal after gold medal after gold medal, but I believe this: every single high achiever and peak performer has within them a level of performance higher than what they've given up to this point. Because if there was a medal to be won in the Olympics higher than the gold medal, it would be the platinum medal. And my organization is called Platinum Performance Global because we help organizations and individuals grow to that next level. Now, there's even financial proof of this phenomenon because you and I are familiar with the popular financial disclaimer that appears at the bottom of most statements that says this: prior performance does not guarantee what? Future results. So MDRT, what we've done up to this point is miraculous. It's amazing. But if we want to take it to that next level, we've got to be willing to change, because if you same your thinking, you're going to same your life. But when you change your thinking, you change your life. Does that sound good? Say yes. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, I need you to give me a better yes. Does that sound good? Say yes. Yes. Yeah, see, now, one of the ways that I help organizations with this whole notion of bettering their best and taking it to that next level is something that I like to call matrix moments. See, the matrix is an external physiological representation of an internal psychological shift. It's an external physiological representation of an internal psychological shift. So if you all remember the movie The Matrix, when Neo was on top of the roof and the agents were shooting at him, he would do this special movement to dodge the bullets. And I believe every single day you and I are tasked with dodging bullets of negativity and lack and misinformation and getting a hold of the principles that are going to help us grow and take it to that next level. Therefore, what I'm going to challenge you to do is when I say let's do the Matrix on 3, we're going to do this together as one big MDRT family. And you're going to start from the left, and you're going to go all the way around to the right, and you're going to say, I got it. And you're going to clap it up really, really big. And that lets me know, Del Toro, I'm dodging those bullets of negativity, and I'm getting a hold of the principles that you're teaching me in this presentation. So can we practice it on the count of 3 as one family? We have to do it 100%. I'm bringing you my best. MDRT, I want you to give me your best. This is an interactive presentation, so let's rock out with Del Toro, okay? On the count of 3, we're going to do it together in your seat. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Say, I got it. And clap it up really big. Clap it up really big. That was okay, but I believe that I'm at the $1 million round table, and I believe that I'm a part of the best, and I think you can do it a little bit better. Can we try it one more time? 100% participation. We're going to start from the left, go all the way around the right, and we're going to do this like 4 times as we go throughout this program, and every time I want the matrix to get bigger, better, and stronger, and when I call for it, you bring it to me. Let's try it on the count of 3 one more time. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Say, I got it. Clap it up real big. Clap it up real big. That's what I'm talking about. I think we can work this. Very good, very good. All right, now, if I was to ask you a question, and I was to ask you to open this, what's the first question that you would ask me? What's the combination? Why wouldn't you ask me for the key? The reason why you wouldn't ask me for the key is because you and I both understand, as high achievers and peak performers, that there is no one thing that you can do to be successful. MDRT, we didn't do one thing to get in this room. We don't do one thing well to run our businesses. We do a lot of things right. The truth is, it's a combination approach. You got to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Y'all move with me when I move. Come on, a little bit of this, everybody, come on, and a little bit of that. Let's try it again. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? So I'm going to teach you a 3-part combination that I believe that you can utilize to better your best and take it to that next level. Because if you change your thinking, you'll change your life. But if you same your thinking, you'll same your life. Does that make sense? Say, oh yeah. So the first part of the combination is this. You must be willing to lead change. Please write that down. I've got tons of amazing takeaways for you. You must be willing to lead change. See, I believe this. I firmly believe this. Either you proactively lead change, or you will reactively be changed by change. Either you proactively lead change, or you will reactively be changed by change. So the first part of the combination is we must be willing to change. Now, change happens at 2 speeds, revolutionary and evolutionary. You know, revolutionary change is fast change, quick change. Evolutionary change is change over a slower period of time. And if I was to interview each and every one of you all individually, I guarantee you that you would tell me this, that the majority of the changes that you want to see in your life, you want those changes to happen faster. We live in a world where change is rapid. It's changing everywhere all the time. So we have to be mindful of the fact that embracing revolutionary change is really where it's at. Because if I was to ask you, could you land more dream clients? Would you want them slow or fast? You'd want them faster. If you'd like to be forgiven for a mistake you made, slow or fast, you'd want it faster. If you could lose weight, would you want it slow or fast? You'd want it faster. If you'd like to find your dream soulmate, slow or fast, you'd want it faster. So I'm convinced that the majority of the things that we want in our lives, we want them faster. So for the sake of this conversation, let's talk about revolutionary change. You know, this happened in my own life because I went through a period where I was a little bit overweight. I'd gotten to about 240 pounds. And my excuse was that I was too busy traveling to follow a wellness program. And something happened in my personal life that I'll tell you about a little bit later that made me go visit my doctor. And my doctor said, hey, you might want to drop a few pounds, sir. You don't have a specific disease like diabetes, but if you don't drop a few pounds, you might get it in a few years. So he said, drop about 10 pounds. I went ballistic. He said, go to a diabetes class just so you can learn a little bit more about the disease. Your mom suffered from this, so you don't want this to happen to you. I went to the class, scared the heck out of me, y'all. And I made a decision that day that I was gonna make my health and wellness a priority. And I went all the way from 240 to 203 in 4 months because I made a decision that I was ready to change and I was ready to experience revolutionary change. Is anybody in this room ready to experience revolutionary change? Say yes. All right, see, because I believe this, the moment that we make the commitment and the decision to experience revolutionary change, we can change our absolute lives, all right? So let's rock this thing out. I believe this, any change you want to make in your life has to be a must. Please write that down. You see, so oftentimes what we do is we say, you know what, I ought to do this, I need to do that, I should do this, I should make more calls, I should prospect better, I should close better, and we should all over ourselves, right? Hello, right? But the truth is, if you want real change to happen in your life, it can't be a should and it can't be an ought to. It has to be a must. Please write that down. It's got to be a must. So Del Toro, how can I lead revolutionary change? I'm so glad you asked. Instead of talking about revolutionary change, MDRT, we're about to do revolutionary change. If everybody in this room will please stand up. Please stand up. Everybody in the room, please stand up. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Everybody please stand up. Now, we all know that there's a lot of organizations that have really bad parties. MDRT has the best parties on the planet. In fact, there's a party on this stage tonight. Come on, somebody. But we've all been to a bad party before. And what I'd like you to do is when I say go, I want you to treat the 5 or 10 people that are closest to your seat, the 5 or 10 people that are closest to your seat, as if you're at the worst party possible. There's a stench in the air, there's no good food, there's no good music, there's no attractive people. You don't trust the person you valeted your car to. It's a horrible party. When I say go, treat those 5 or 10 people as if you're at the worst party possible. Go. Now look around the room as you're doing this and pay attention. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like a peak performer right now? Say no. Our shoulders are down. Our breathing is shallow and not deep. Our head is down. Our posture is low. And in this low performing place, our physiology is telling on our psychology. And in this place, there's no way you can achieve your goals, and you certainly can't better your best. And most people walk around life, they walk around their office, they walk around their home as if they're at the worst party possible. Isn't that right? Don't y'all know folks who walk around life as if they're at the worst party possible? Say yes. But we all know that if we're going to be high achievers and peak performers, there's no way that we can have that kind of attitude. So Del Toro, if the horrible party attitude does not give me revolutionary change, then what attitude does? That's a brilliant question. You're asking gorgeous questions this afternoon. Anybody in this room ever been to the airport before? Now, who's seen the infamous airport reunion? You know, the two folks who haven't seen each other in like 10 years and they're seeing each other for the first time at the airport, so they do the whole running in place. Oh my gosh, right? So here's what's getting ready to happen. Those same 5 or 10 people that you just treated like horrible party, when I yell the word airport and the music goes ballistic, this place is gonna go bananas. Because you're gonna treat every one of those 5 or 10 people like they're that long lost loved one that you have not seen in 10 years. And you're seeing them for the first time at the airport. All right? Now, I want you to play full out. 1, 2, 3, airport! Keep going. Get a few more folks in. Get a few more hugs in. Get a few more in. Go ahead. High five them. Hug them. Hug them. Give me a few more. Give me a few more. Good job. Good job. Awesome. Now, let me ask you a question. Go ahead, as you're having your seat. Now, how do you feel now? Doesn't that feel awesome? Say yes. That was not nearly loud enough, MDRT. Don't you feel awesome? Say yes. Yes, see, we feel awesome in this place because our heart is pumping blood through our entire body. Your endorphins have been fired off. You're smiling like crazy. You look amazing. And in this peak state, your shoulders are square, you're standing strong, you're breathing deep and not shallow, and your physiology is telling your psychology to feel good. And I want you to know that you can go from horrible party to airport in your sales. You can go from horrible party to airport in your customer service. You can go from horrible party to airport in your relationship, in your parenting, in any area of your life that you care about, simply by making the commitment to have revolutionary change in your life. Say yes. Yes. See, people ask me all the time, they say, Del Toro, man, you got a whole lot of energy. They say, how much coffee do you drink? I tell them I don't drink coffee. I just spell energy differently than the way most people do. I spell energy INNER-G, inner gratitude. Because every single day I wake up and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do what I love. Every single day I wake up with gratitude in my heart. And I need you guys to understand something. I love something that LaShawn Accord talked about on Monday. He talked about gratitude, and I want to take it a step further. I believe that gratitude is the emotional trump card. You want to go from horrible party to airport at any moment, right before a meeting, in any moment, right before a big transaction? Focus on what's going right, not what's going wrong. Focus on what you have, not what you've lost. Focus on how you can rebound, and rather than what you've lost and how bad things have been in your life. If you want to experience revolutionary change, you got to be willing to transform. See, I believe every single one of us in this room are transformers. Would you agree with that? Say yes. Yes. I believe for the work that we do in the lives of our clients, we're transformers. We create wealth, we grow wealth, we protect wealth, and we pass wealth on. Which means each one of us in this room actually are superheroes and super-sheroes. But even superheroes and super-sheroes need to be refueled and recharged. So I want to ask you all to participate in one activity with me really quickly. I'm going to ask you in your seat to reach up with both hands, and I'm going to give you some things to pull down. And when you pull them down, I want you to feel them in your body, refuel you and recharge you, because the best heroes and sheroes need to be recharged. So right now, reach up with both hands. Reach up with both hands. Everybody in the room, reach up with both hands. And I want you to pull down fresh love and say yes. Yes. I want you to reach up right now and pull down fresh joy and say yes. Yes. I want you to reach up and pull down fresh creativity. Say yes. Yes. I want you to reach up and pull down fresh forgiveness for yourself and others and say yes. Yes. I want you to reach up and pull down fresh teamwork and collaboration and say yes. Yes. Doesn't that feel good, MDRT? Yes. Doesn't that feel awesome? Well, if that feels good, and if you're willing to claim your superpower, then on the count of 3, let's do our first matrix together. 1, 2, 3, go. Say, I got it. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. This is a party. Clap it up. Come on, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. All right. All right. Now, the second part of the combination is overcoming challenge. And I guarantee you that if I could interview each and every one of you in this room, you would tell me that the last 3 to 5 years have been, character building. Is that a good word for it? They've been tough, they've been difficult, they've been hard. And I guarantee you, if you were to ask the people of New Orleans, they would tell you that the last 10 years have been absolutely devastating. But y'all, in spite of that, here we sit and here we stand. As the city of New Orleans is literally embarking upon a 3-month celebration of the 10-year anniversary of one of the most devastating disasters in human history. See, I believe extraordinary people go through extraordinary challenges. And at the end of the day, $1 Million Roundtable, it's important for us to understand something powerful. See, New Orleans is the best. One of the most cultured cities in the world. We know that. In MDRT, we are the best. But part of the challenge with being the best is we have to constantly wear the mask. You know, the facade that we put on that basically says that everything is fantastic when in truth we're going through a challenge. And if you were to be really, really honest, you know what the real truth is, y'all? We dress up great and we look amazing and we look fantastic, but if we were to take off our nice outfits, you would see scars, challenges, issues. In fact, let me just take a quick instant poll. How many of you all will, just by show of hands, tell me that the last couple years have been tough? Throw your hand way up if it's been challenging for you. And some of y'all, things have been fantastic. Congratulations. I guarantee you know someone who's gone through something tough. At the end of the day, y'all, if we want to take it to that next level, we have to be willing to remove the mask. One of the things that I constantly hear from high achievers all around the world is that, y'all, we are forced to lead while we bleed. I'm gonna say that again. High achievers, key takeaway, are forced to lead while they bleed. In other words, we have to wear the mask like things are great when really we're going through some really difficult times. So there's a question that I want you to begin to start asking your friends. See, you know how many of y'all have ever asked somebody, how you doing? And they say, I'm fine. And that's the answer that we typically give most people, I'm fine, right? But it's not the truth. It's just what we do to wear the mask. So the question that I want you to begin to ask people is, how are you really doing? In fact, I want you to practice that right now. Just tap your neighbor on the shoulder and say, I don't want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're really doing. Do that for me real quick. Doesn't matter how you're doing. I want to know how you're really doing. Because the truth is, $1 Million Round Table, we can only be in one of three places. We can either be in a storm, we just left a storm, or we're heading towards a storm. But either way, we must be willing to remove the mask in order to get real. I love something that my good friend Don Conley talked about when he talked about the importance of building trust. We all know this. People do business with folks that they know, like, and trust. Well, if we want to increase our trust factor, we must become more transparent. We got to get rid of the mask. And I'm willing to go first. I know what it's like to be labeled an at-risk youth in the 5th and 6th grade, told that I wasn't going to amount to much of anything, literally discounted, put into a classroom full of all at-risk kids. You're not college material. You don't have what it takes to be great. You don't have what it takes to be amazing. I know what it's like to get my first job at the age of 14, bagging groceries at a local grocery store, and be centimeters away from one of the greatest hate crimes of my entire city, when one of my best friends, who was also a bag boy with me, was abducted from our parking lot, put into the back of a pickup truck, driven 2 miles down the street. They poured gasoline on his body and set him on fire in an open field. And a lot of my coworkers and my boss said that had you shown up to work early, that would have been you. I know what it's like to go to college and have hopes and dreams of pledging a great fraternity. And they didn't think I was fraternity material. And my self-esteem, my confidence be dashed. I know what it's like to come out and work in a great corporation for a year and then get laid off right after I closed on my first house. You know that 45-day window when you close on a house and then you make your first payment? And I got laid off in that window. I know what it's like to also go through one of the greatest devastations of all time, when I lost my coach, my mentor, my best friend, my mom, on April 30th, 2013 at 5:30 p.m. My mom was my hero. My mom taught me how to speak. MDRT, has anybody in this room lost a loved one, someone that you care about, someone that's close to you, and it still hurts? Will you extend your hand to me so I can identify who you are? See, here's the truth. Keep your hand extended, please. The truth, y'all, is this. I'm holding your hand. I get it. People say that time heals. Time helps. But you have to learn to live with that loss. Every single person in this room who's lost a loved one, I'm going to ask that you stand right now. Please stand. If you lost a loved one. MDRT, look around the room at the people who are still dealing with challenges. And everybody in this room who's standing next to or sitting next to someone who's standing, I'm going to ask that you stand up right now and give them a hug and look them dead in the eye and say, I'm sorry for your loss. Do that for me, please, right now. It doesn't matter how much we know until people know how much we care. And sometimes we got to be willing to care about folks beyond just the surface stuff. because extraordinary people go through extraordinary challenges. You may have your seat. Thank you very much. I got to be honest with you, $1 Million Round Table, I know what it's like to go through some tough stuff, but I also know what it's like to come from stock, come from a mom who taught me how to be an overcomer, who taught me how to be an achiever, who taught me how to be a champion, who taught me how to bounce back from every setback. You know how they told me that I was labeled an at-risk youth and I wasn't going to amount to much of anything? I ended up going to Florida State University and getting a bachelor's and master's in 5 years with a 4.0 and no debt. You know how they told me? Thank you so much. You know how they told me that I wasn't cut out to be in a fraternity? I'm fortunate enough to tell you that I keynote the largest Greek conferences in the country today, and I'm not Greek. So I feel like I still kind of get the best of both worlds. It's absolutely amazing. And I've learned some things that you can use to overcome tough challenges. Can I teach those to you? Say yes. Yes. All right, first principle I want to teach is this. You've got to be the racquetball and not the egg. You have to be the racquetball and not the egg. See, I love to play racquetball. It's my favorite sport. So if you ever want to hang out with Del Toro, invite me to play racquetball and we will rock out and have a good time. I got to stay pretty. Okay, now let's keep going. So, see, don't laugh at me and don't laugh at my laugh. It'll affect my self-esteem. Okay, you have to learn how to be the racquetball and not the egg. See, when the egg encounters a hard situation, it splats. And in this New Orleans heat, it cooks on the sidewalk. Isn't that right? Come on, somebody. But when a racquetball encounters a hard surface, it bounces back. It bounces back stronger, higher, faster. And I don't know about you, and I don't know where you are on the continuum of your challenge that you're going through right now. But at the end of the day, it's important for us to understand something really cool. See, this is what a racquetball looks like when it hits the sidewall of a racquetball court. And in some cases, many of our lives look like this. We dress up great, but we could be in any one of these positions, in our own personal finances, in our relationship, in our parenting, in our spiritual journey, in our health and fitness. We can experience that sidewall. But I need to tell you something powerful, $1 Million Round Table. There's something about the way that you are built. There's something about the way that you are wired that gives you what's called resiliency, bounce back ability, which says no matter what, you're going to bounce back from life's toughest setbacks. Say yes! Yes! Do you believe that? Say, oh yeah. Yes. Second principle is this. You got to know your value. You have to know your value. I need you to understand something. Let me go ahead and help you. Your value is set at priceless. Would that be okay to you? Yes. I believe that your value is set at priceless. Because the truth is, you cannot outperform your own self-concept. So it is crucially important that you do mirror therapy every day and you say, I like myself. I like myself. I love myself. Because you have to constantly reinforce your own value. Do you know why? Because psychologists have already told on you the average human being thinks 65,000 separate transactional thoughts per day, 85% of which are negative. Which means we must consistently reinforce the value of who we are, or we will devalue who we are. Does that make sense? Say yes. So I want you to constantly know your value. I was having a conversation with several members of the top of the table. We were at dinner the other night, and they were having a conversation about a Porsche. And they were talking about how valuable this Porsche was because there was only 1,000 Porsches that were made. So since the supply was low, the demand for the Porsche was very, very high. And it gave me this metaphor that I believe is so true in life. Every single one of us in this room, from all over the world, I believe that when God created each and every one of us, He made us as an original. And He stamped your hand with something unique that nobody else on the planet has, and it's called your fingerprint. And there was only one of you made. So if the Porsche is valuable, and if the Porsche has all this worth because 1,000 of them were made, how much more valuable are you because only one of you was made? Isn't that powerful? Say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And in fact, I think that's a matrix moment. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Say, I. Clap it up, clap it up. That's powerful. That's powerful. You got to know your value. This is a $1,000 bill. If I take this $1,000 bill and I put it into a Louis Vuitton wallet, it's still worth $1,000. If I take that $1,000 bill and I put it into a Walmart wallet, it's still worth $1,000. So it doesn't matter what is wrapped around the $1,000, it doesn't change the value of of the $1,000. It doesn't matter what the $1,000 drives. It does not matter what kind of country club the $1,000 belongs to. It doesn't matter how big the house the $1,000 lives in. It holds its value no matter what. MDRT, I'm here to tell you, it does not matter what's happened to your life, what you've gotten, what you've lost. Hold your value and know your value no matter what. Would you agree with that? Say yes. Yes. Absolutely. Third thing I want to teach about overcoming challenges is this. It's important that you understand that failure is not an option, but that's not the full quote. See, all of our life we've told our kids, hey, make sure that you go out there and get A's and B's because failure is not an option. Right before they go out and do the big sporting event, we say, hey, the coach rallies the troops and says, hey, make sure you go out there and get those touchdowns, get those home plate runs, right? Because failure is not an option. But that's only the first part of the quote. MDRT, I need your help. I don't need you to stand. I don't need you to pull down anything. I need you to lean in because I got a secret for you. Lean in for me. Just lean forward. Everybody lean forward. We do everything together as a family here. Don't stand up, just lean forward. I got a secret to tell you. The full quote says this: failure is not an option. It's actually a privilege reserved exclusively for those who try. What? What? Can anybody else not breathe right now? That is profound. Let's unpack that for a second. Failure is not an option. It's actually a privilege reserved exclusively for those who try. I got to take a quick station break right here, and I need to applaud each and every one of you in this room for trying, because success is in the effort. And the truth is, $1 Million Roundtable, we as high achievers are so focused on the end result, so focused on the end game, so focused on the end outcome that we completely forget about the process of achieving. And I love something that our president, Caroline Banks, spoke about on Monday when she talked about the whole person principle. We're human beings, not just human doings. And we have to celebrate the process and the destination. Because I have some news I got to share with you, MDRT. You need to understand something powerful. There is no there. Write that down, please. There is no there. If every single thing in us, all of our drive and hustle is pent up to get there, and we finally get there, we realize that there's no there. Because then what happens? Because you know what we do as high achievers. As soon as we score a touchdown, what do? We push the end zone back 50 yards. We have to learn how to celebrate both the process and the end product. Would you agree with that? Say yes. Yes, absolutely. I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true, MDRT. So listen, I've got another part of the combination to share with you. So the first part is this: you got to be willing to lead revolutionary change. The second part is this: you got to be willing to overcome challenge. The third part is you got to commit to mastery. Please write that down for me. Commit to mastery. If you were to ask me, Delatoro, what is the thing that you've done over the last 15 years to be one of the top speakers in the world and to share the stage with all the people that you read about when you were a kid and to earn the CSP as one of the youngest CSPs across the country and to have that designation to do best-selling books and television and all the things that I've done? I will tell you that one of my secret sauces is I committed to mastery. In other words, I learned how to be like a stamp and stick to one thing until it delivers. Come on, somebody. I'm gonna say that again. I learned how to be like a stamp and stick to one thing until it delivers. Follow the metaphor if you don't mind. How successful would a package be if the postage on that package kept jumping off the package every time the package got to a different postal stop? See, it would never arrive. A stamp sticks to one thing until it delivers. And I'm here to tell you that I need you to make a commitment to master your industry, master your craft, be a student of this game. Anything that you want to get success in must become a study. We aren't just salespeople. We must become students of this industry at the highest level. That's why first-timers commit to this industry like nothing else. Commit to the $1 Million Roundtable. Commit to showing up here every single year, over and over again. We've got statistical proof that says that the more you show up, the more money you make. So commit to being here. Isn't that right? Tom Friedman said it on Monday that we must be willing to be extraordinary because average is over. We got to be willing to commit. I love something that I've heard many times before. Y'all, we're so busy that we all can become the victims of weapons of mass distraction. With so much stuff happening all the time, everywhere, we don't really focus on committing to mastery. See, one of my mentors was a guy by the name of Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar taught me something when I was 14 years old. He said, Del Toro, always do more than you're paid to do. He said, always outperform your paycheck. He said, if you do more than you're paid to do, the day will come when you're paid more for what you do. He said, commit to having a rock solid work ethic. I love something that Mark Cuban said. He said, sweat equity is the best equity that there is. He said, you've got to know your industry better than anybody else and love what you do or don't do it at all. I made a decision and a commitment that I was going to commit to mastery. First timers, commit to coming back year after year. Veterans who've been here 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 some odd years, commit to showing up brand new every single year. Shock yourself every single year. Be blown away at how new and how fresh you can reinvent yourself year after year. Change your thinking, change your life. Same your thinking, same your life. I made a decision that I was going to commit to my industry and I was going to develop a strong tree trunk. Well, Del, what do you mean? See, I've never seen a tree come out of the ground with multiple trunks. Have you? It doesn't happen. See, every tree, in my humble opinion, comes out of the ground with a trunk and then it branches out and there's fruit and there's leaves. But I believe that as we've been here over the last few days at our annual meeting, there's two sets of skills that are important for every tree trunk. Our hard skills and our soft skills. We've been learning about the hard skills. During MDRT Speaks, we learned a lot of great hard skills about niching and branding and sales and marketing and prospecting and social media and all that great stuff. But you also need those soft skills: fortitude, grit, fight, hustle, determination, integrity, character, honor, work ethic. And the more we can combine those hard skills and those soft skills together, we can create what's called mastery. Would you agree with that? Say yes. See, y'all, I need you to understand something. I stuck with speaking when folks made fun of my industry. I stuck with speaking in a good economy, bad economy. I stuck with speaking when it was popular, when it wasn't popular. When I was speaking for free, chicken dinners, fish dinners, it didn't matter what it was. When I was tall, when I was short. Well, oh, sorry, I've always been short. I was talking to a client one day and he said, hey, I came to pick you up at the airport, and as you were coming down the escalator, you got shorter, but he said, as you walked closer to me, you got even shorter than that. And I was like, wow. So when you see me in the connection zone, I am short. Don't laugh at me, it affects my self-esteem. Anyway, but I stuck with speaking when people made fun of my industry and said, Del Toro, you're nothing but a motivational speaker. Doesn't motivation wear off? I say yes, but so does bathing. So does mascara, deodorant, toothpaste, cologne, lotion, hairspray. Everything that you put on in a day wears off in a day. That's why you have to apply it every single day. $1 Million Roundtable, if you want motivation to work in your life, you have to apply it daily. Say yes. Yes. That was a whack yes. Let's try it again. Say yes. Yes. I began this presentation by telling you that I was going to teach you a 3-part combination that you can use to unlock your best. And that 3-part combination is comprised of this. You must be willing to commit to create and lead revolutionary change. You also must be willing to commit to overcome tough challenges. Be the racquetball, not the egg. And you must also commit to mastery. And I believe if you do those 3 things, a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this, you will unlock your best and take it to that next level. Now, as we get ready to leave this annual meeting, I have a challenge for you, because we go to big events, success conferences all the time, and most people say this: I'm leaving on a high, and that high lasts for about 2 or 3 weeks. I don't want you to leave the $1 Million Roundtable on a high, because a high is something that you go up to and you crash down from. I want you to leave the $1 Million Roundtable on a new level. So I've got a challenge that I'm going to ask you to partake with me. For the next 30 days, I want you to pick one key learning, one key major takeaway from this annual meeting. And for the next 30 days, I want you to get 1% better in that one area for 30 days straight. 1% better in that one area for 30 days straight. If you do that for 30 days, you'll be 30% better in that one key area. And then the next month, you switch the focus. And each month you do that. So for the next 12 months, you have a professional development plan, of how to implement everything you've learned at this annual meeting. Does that sound good? Say yes. Absolutely. So if we take on that challenge, $1 Million Roundtable, I believe we can make anything in our lives happen. So I'd like to leave this presentation the same way I began it, by saying this. I believe that life gives us one open invitation every day, and it comes in the form of a question. Will you be better today than you were yesterday? $1 Million Roundtable, if you're willing to take me up on that challenge, then give me one final matrix on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Say, I got it. Clap it up for yourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.